Hi everyone, I'm Ali Grayman. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to stop yourself from doing compulsion, whether mental or physical compulsion. So at first, let's think of what will happen after you do the compulsion. At first, you will feel relief, but that relief is going to be very short-lived because to every reassurance, your brain will come up with some sort of an argument saying, but what if this? Oh, but you didn't consider this, or you didn't do this the right way, or you need to redo it. Or, okay, well, if you did this compulsion, then you need to do another compulsion. And then you're going to be stuck doing the next one. But not only will you be stuck doing the next one is actually going to be more severe because you're already in fight or flight mode. It already seems more important to the brain because you've done this one now. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to start going from compulsion to compulsion to compulsion, whether it's mental compulsions or physical compulsions, doesn't really matter. So you have to look at it this way. Is this actually worth it? What am I gaining from this? And then absolutely choosing not to react, choosing not to do it. Because the more you do these compulsions, the worse you're making yourself, you know? So just think of how many times you've done a certain compulsions, a certain reassurance, whatever. Doesn't matter if it's mental or physical. And where did it actually get you? It got you to where you are right now, wanting to do another. This is how OCD happens for people. If a person knew about OCD, knew about the damage that the compulsions do and how they program your brain for more fear and all of this kind of stuff, right? Nobody would ever get OCD because the first time they would get an urge to do a compulsion, they would say, or like I said, mental reassurance, doesn't really matter. They would just say, no, I'm not doing it. But because you get stuck in this loop, right? Because you think, okay, I need to protect myself, which is a natural feeling for a person, right? To want to protect themselves. You get stuck in this loop of protecting yourself more and more. So when you kind of take a moment, and this is where mindfulness comes in, right? Take a moment and see, okay, if I do this, what will actually happen? Yeah, I'll get a momentary relief. That's true. But what will happen then? Will I get out of OCD or will I get deeper in? And is this really worth it? And then making your decision accordingly, saying, wait, clearly it's not worth it. It's never worth it. The only time I would say that, it is worth it is maybe if you're having some sort of extreme situation, like, say, for example, if a woman is getting an OCD thought while she's giving birth or something like that. Okay, then maybe in that specific moment, maybe doing reassurance is, a temporary fix that where you actually do need a temporary fix. But short of something extreme happening, just trying to survive the day or survive the week, this is not extreme. This is just keeping the problem going. And you can't allow yourself to do that because no matter when you do it, even in the situation I gave with the childbirth, it's still a step back. It's still a step back, and you still will have to make a step forward just to make up for the step back. And the next step forward is going to be harder. So try whenever you're having an extreme urge to do a compulsion or to check or to confess or to analyze or whatever it is, to, research, get reassurance, whatever, look at it that what are you actually gaining, and in the long run, how much worse you're making yourself. That OCD only grows when you do compulsions, and it only stops when you stop doing compulsions, and the level at which it grows and stops is the same level at which you do or don't do compulsions. It's entirely based on compulsions because the brain reprograms based on what you're doing, on your actions. And again, mental or physical actions doesn't matter. Because whenever you do any kind of action, you are showing fear. You're not doing it from a position of, oh, I feel so good, I'm going to do a compulsion. No, you're doing it with fear. I'm taking it so seriously that I'm going to go out of my way to do a compulsion because this is how scary and dangerous it is. That is the message that you send to the brain. So refuse. I know sometimes it's like you just want to scream, you just want to cry, you just want to punch something, but you still have to refuse. No matter what. And I promise you, in the beginning, it's the toughest. And if you stay strong in the beginning and just really go strong through that first period, it won't last long. But if you don't go strongly through the first period, then what's going to happen is that period will last indefinitely. Because you're going to be like, one step forward, the brain's like, okay, maybe it's not that important. And then you're like one step back doing compulsion, the brain's like, okay, maybe it is still important. And it doesn't know, and it doesn't shift, and it gets confused further. So you have to send a very clear message to the brain that no, this is no longer valid. Send me all the scary thoughts in the world. I'm choosing to view it as no longer valid. And when it tells you, well, what if you're wrong? Well, if I'm wrong, but I'm choosing not to view it as valid anymore. So you're standing strong, you're sticking to your message, you're sticking to your decision here, you know? You don't need proof on the decision, you're just sticking with the decision. I'm telling you, in 9 years of helping people, I've never seen a single person be wrong about their decision. I've never seen it. So just make a choice and stick with that choice no matter what arguments your brain throws at you, no matter how important it makes it seem, just keep going, you know? This is how you recover. I promise you. Again, 9 years of experience. I'm telling you, if I knew an easier way of, just take medication, just do this, just, meditate a little, it's all those things can help, but they're like, very small, very kind of insignificant things. The most important thing is ERP, and that works 100% of the time.